There is a calm before danger, a hush before the breaking, and in that stillness the greatest battle begins, not the one outside you, but the one within. I have watched you walk through storms, through valleys that whispered your name in the dark. I have seen you rise and fall, promise and forget, stand strong and then tremble. And I tell you now, none of it was wasted. Every bruise, every pause, every small act of defiance against despair was seen. Because I am not distant. I move toward the places that ache. There are forces that study your fears. They trace the patterns of your habits, the times when your guard lowers. They don't rush. They wait. They learn when exhaustion replaces discipline, when pride convinces you that you are safe. They map your life like a cartographer of weakness, hoping for one loose thread to pull. And when they find it, they tug gently, never loudly. That's why falling rarely feels like falling. It feels like permission. It feels like comfort. A small surrender that whispers, "It's fine, everyone does this." But 1,000 small surrenders build the collapse that no one sees coming. The tragedy is that compromise always begins with reason. A clever explanation, a harmless excuse. And so the unraveling begins. I tell you this because I want you awake. I want you to recognize the slow corrosion before it turns to ruin. You are not built to live half awake, surrounded by distractions that glitter but never give light. You are built for clarity, for purpose, for courage. Every time you trade conviction for convenience, the fire inside dims. And yet, even dim light can be reignited. That is what I came to do, to reignite. Guard your attention. Guard it as you would guard a treasure, because the world is built to steal it. It will come disguised as noise, urgency, flattery, or false connection. The thief doesn't need to break your door down. He only needs to keep you busy. But there is power in focus. There is strength in silence. Learn to sit with stillness until you hear what is true. Truth is not always pleasant, but it will always free you. When temptation comes, it will rarely look like evil. It will look like opportunity. It will sound like logic. It will feel like something you deserve. But the cost is hidden in the fine print. What begins as a small lie becomes the architecture of regret. That is why I call you to build disciplines that keep you standing when pleasure tries to make you kneel. Rise early to listen. Practice gratitude until envy grows silent. Work with integrity when no one applauds. Rest before exhaustion becomes your master. And surround yourself with companions who dare to tell you the truth. Because real love risks discomfort. The ones who flatter your ego may keep you comfortable, but they will never keep you whole. You are not meant to fight alone. Isolation magnifies rationalization. Community, imperfect though it is, saves lives every day. Find people who live by conviction, who choose honesty over ease, who challenge rather than charm. Invite counsel. Invite accountability. Do not mistake secrecy for strength. Shadows grow thicker where silence lives. Bring things into light before they chain you. Confession is not weakness. It is the act of tearing down a wall that was never protecting you, it was only hiding you. When you feel the pull toward something that erodes your peace, name it. Naming disarms it. A lie loses half its power when it is spoken aloud. Speak it to someone who listens with wisdom, not judgment. That is how traps lose their teeth. That is how freedom begins. And when shame whispers, "Stay quiet," remember this. Shame is the voice that fears the light the most. Your inner life matters more than any public victory. Character built in secret shapes destiny in daylight. Train your imagination to see beyond immediate pleasure. Rehearse the better story, the one where you stand firm, where you finish well, where your name becomes a synonym for endurance. The imagination is the rehearsal room of the soul. Feed it truth, and truth will become instinct when the test arrives. But hear me, rescue is real. It is not metaphor, it is not wishful thinking. It is the movement of something greater than despair. It is relentless pursuit. I will chase you down in the storm. I will overturn every obstacle in your path. Not because you earned it, but because you matter. You are worth the rescue. Every scar you carry, every mistake you wish you could erase, becomes material in my hands. I do not discard broken things, I rebuild them into strength. Where there was deceit, I plant truth. Where there was addiction, I sow discipline. Where there was shame, I craft compassion. What others call failure, I call foundation. Do not rely on cleverness to outwit darkness. Rely on habits that strengthen light. Rely on humility that keeps you teachable. Rely on patience that resists urgency. And when courage feels costly, pay it anyway. It is the currency of freedom. Every act of honesty, every hard apology, every refusal to quit adds weight to the new structure I'm building in you. Understand this. The pursuit is personal. It's not a myth of ancient pages. It's a present-tense reality. I cross thresholds you thought were sealed. I enter the rooms you've locked from the inside, not to expose you to shame, but to free you from it. Because what hides in the dark heals only in the light. The process may sting, but healing is never cruel. It's surgical mercy, precise, deliberate, unstoppable. You will know the pursuit when ordinary days are interrupted. When the conversation you didn't plan pierces your defenses. When a song, a sentence, a stranger's kindness cracks open something you buried. That's not coincidence, that's rescue. Pay attention to interruptions. They are often invitations. Do not curse the disturbance that wakes you. It may be the alarm that saves you. Comfort can become a cage disguised as peace. So when I shake your comfort, it is not punishment, it is liberation. I'm not taking away safety. I'm restoring freedom. There will be moments when you resist. That's natural. The familiar sorrow feels safer than the unknown repair, but the fear of change is smaller than the joy of renewal. Yes, healing hurts, but so does staying broken. When memories rise and you want to hide, bring them out. Pain aired in honesty becomes pain with purpose. Regret can either rot or redeem. You decide which by whether you bring it to light. Practical repair matters. Change the roots, not just the fruit. Shift your routines. Protect your mornings. Guard what you watch. Remove triggers that drag you backward. Choose companions who help you grow, not repeat. Set boundaries that make the good easier and the harmful harder. These aren't pious rituals, they're survival tools. Build them, use them, guard them. They form the scaffolding for the new life you are building. Do not fear scars. Scars are proof that the wound was met by healing. They are not trophies of defeat, but maps of survival. Let them remind you that pain can be transformed into purpose. Wear them not with shame, but with quiet confidence. They say, I was found, I was rescued, I am being restored. Community is the echo of rescue. Ordinary people who choose faithfulness over favor become instruments of redemption. Allow them near. Let their presence challenge your isolation. Help is not humiliation, it's collaboration. You were designed to need others. Hands that cook meals, voices that pray, shoulders that steady, these are extensions of the same pursuit that never stops chasing you. Accept their help. It honors the one who sent them. When doubt returns, and it will remember the direction of this pursuit, it always moves toward life. It doesn't circle the wound forever, it guides you through it. Do not confuse delay with abandonment. Restoration takes time because depth requires patience. Quick fixes collapse fast. Enduring change is slow and strong. I celebrate every small victory. The first honest word, the first morning you choose gratitude over guilt, the first day you refuse to repeat an old pattern. These are revolutions disguised as routines. Keep doing them until the new becomes normal. There will be resistance. Old powers don't yield quietly. Habits, systems, even people who benefited from your bondage may try to pull you back. Stand firm. You are not fighting alone. I am in the resistance with you. Each no you speak to destruction is another wall of your new home being built. Every refusal to return to the old way is a declaration of independence. Do not measure your worth by neatness or success. Measure it by willingness. The willingness to get up again, to confess again, to believe again. Failure is never final where pursuit is still active. The only defeat is quitting. And I have not quit on you, so neither should you. There will come a day when storms rise again. Losses will batter, betrayals will sting, doubts will roar. But this time you'll remember, you are not alone in the gale. I am already there, walking through water, not around it, carrying when you cannot move, balancing when you waver, whispering truth through the noise. And when the storm breaks, you will find your footing firmer than before. Every storm uncovers what cannot be shaken. Love, integrity, faithfulness in the unseen. Hold on to these, they outlast every tempest. Let others see how light behaves in darkness. It doesn't panic, it persists. That persistence becomes testimony. Your story will not end in collapse. It will end in renewal. When you stumble again, and yes, again, don't run from me. Call, help will come. I have built a network of hands that will lift you. People who once fell and now stand ready to guide. They are the proof that restoration multiplies. Rescued ones become rescuers. That is the circle of redemption. Evil's tactics, no matter how elaborate, are temporary. Plans of destruction collapse under the weight of endurance. There will be cost, but there will also be compensation. Losses balanced by learning, pain transformed into empathy, wrongs rewritten into wisdom. That is victory, not escape, but transformation. So cooperate with the rescue. Consent to growth. Say yes to truth even when it hurts. Open your hands where fear has clenched them. Dismantle routines that feed the old self. Trust the process, trust the companions, trust the pursuit. Grieve honestly, forgive fully, rebuild patiently. These are not burdens, they are the way home. Hope is your anchor. When exhaustion whispers, "It's too far," hope answers, "It's closer than you think." When shame says, "You deserve the storm," hope says, "You were made for the calm beyond it." No barrier stands forever before a love determined to restore. No chain is unbreakable before steady perseverance. The pursuit has already paid the cost. Now it collects its reward, your freedom. Live toward the home you are being rebuilt into. Let generosity replace grasping. Let truth replace camouflage. Let courage replace avoidance. Let love replace withdrawal. Each small choice in this direction is a brick in the new foundation. The rescue is not about safety alone, it is about purpose. To rebuild what was wasted. To transform pain into compassion. To turn every scar into a story that guides others out of the dark. This is the relentless rescue. It does not stop at your mistakes. It does not retreat at your doubt. It does not yield to your fear. It moves through every barrier with precision and mercy. And when you hear thunder roll and the world seems intent on swallowing your hope, raise your face into the rain and remember this. You are being pursued by something stronger than the storm. I will chase you down in the storm. I will overturn every obstacle in your path. I will break every lock made by fear, dismantle every gate forged by shame, and clear a way back to life. Nothing will stop me. Not distance, not time, not failure, because the pursuit is personal, because your life matters, because love, real love, does not quit. So walk forward. Let the overturning begin. Not as an end to struggle, but as the beginning of a reclaimed life. A life rebuilt with wisdom, strengthened by truth, filled with the fierce joy that survives every weather. This is your moment to awaken, to rise, to live again.